Hello everyone. Today in this video, we're going to look at 4 good stocks, from different sectors. One from pharma, one from shipping industry, and a couple of other stocks that we're going to look at today, which are really looking good and which can give good potential returns. You can also consider them for swing trading. You can consider them for investments. You can consider them for positional trading. It depends on how you want to use these 4 recommendations today that I'm going to share with you. But before that, what I want to share with you is a few things that I do, on a regular basis for the investing and trading community to help everyone learn and earn with me along in this journey. So let's look at the stock video today. So first thing that I want to share today is the newsletter. So every Sunday at 2:30, I send out a newsletter which has 4 stock ideas. Now these 4 stock ideas are very carefully picked after I do some good research on fundamentals, on technicals, and then I see if there's a good potential for the stocks to give a good returns in the short term, and also I try to give stocks which pretty decently well in terms of fundamentals plus in technicals. So in fundamentals, I look at sales, I look at operating margins, I look at shareholding patterns, and so many things before I give you these 4 picks. So this week I also have 4 picks that I'm going to discuss. But don't forget, also I give my market outlook in this newsletter, which is the first section. And towards the end of the section, I also give a short article that I write, on a weekly basis. And in this week's, I've given you, some of the basics that you need to look at. And you can go to my Trendline Investor blog, and you can go to Trendline Investor blog, and you can search for my blog, and you can look at how well structured it is. It has everything that a person needs to start, to learn trading and investing in a very structured way. So I'm just going to open this link quickly, just to give you a quick view on this. So you have tools to get started, basics of technical analysis, some strategies, and even chart patterns. So these are some things that I cover in my newsletter every week. So don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter. The subscription link is in the description. So go ahead and subscribe now. There are 1,800 people, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy this newsletter that I share every week. So let's look at the first stock that we have for this week. So the first stock that I have for this week is Kaplan Laboratories. Now, I do want to cover some fundamentals as well. So for fundamentals, I use screener.in. So you can go to screener.in and search for the companies that you're looking for, and you will find all the data related to fundamentals or the financial reports that you want, right? So Kaplan Laboratories is the first stock that we're going to look at this week. And if you look at here, this stock actually has a very good ROCE at 32.5%. Now that's an excellent return on capital employed that the company is generating. So for every 1 rupee that the company is investing, they're generating 32.5% returns on that money that they invest. So that's an excellent record for any company in India or across the world, right? ROE is also pretty decent, but remember the stock is trading at a very low PE of 23.5. So for me, this is relatively cheap, and this stock has a lot of scope to go higher from here. Also, if you see the sales growth, it's pretty decent. They don't have any debt, and you can check a lot of check all of the parameters. But this company is primarily involved in the pharma space. Okay. So jumping into the quarterly results and also the annual results. So quarter results, if we see, we've seen a very strong uptrend since listing. And also here, if you see, they jumped from 81 crores in 2011 to 1,000 crores in 2021. Now that's exactly what I mentioned in the newsletter as well. I've clearly mentioned the company has increased its sales and also increased its operating profits. The profits also have jumped from 8 crores back in 2011 to 314 crores. Now that shows how good this company is and the management's efficiency and how they've been able to generate such good returns, right? So even the operating margin has gone up from 10% to 31%. Now, if you look at sales growth, last 3 years also has been excellent. Profit growth also has been excellent, and majority of the company shares are held by the promoters, around 69%. This is still relatively not much. It's not really discovered by I'll not say discovered, but mutual funds and FIs have still not heavily invested in this stock. So I see a lot of potential in the stock, and that's the fundamental aspects. So an excellent company to invest in. So if you do consider investing in the stock, do let me know in the comments. Also let me know your fundamental views. Now looking at the technicals, which I give more importance to, because the stock can be fundamentally good, but if you pick the stock at the wrong time, then probably you might go and have to face some losses. So what I do is I combine both technicals and fundamentals. So if you look at the stock here, so back in 2012, it had a very strong breakout, and since that breakout, the stock has been trending in a very strong parallel channel, and this is a multi-year parallel channel, and the parallel channel has two touch points over there, and then you have multiple touch points on the lower end as well. And now the stock is kind of breaking out. It had a breakout back in July, a 4.5-year breakout, and since then the stock has been going sideways, which is a strong consolidation just above the all-time high breakout. So for me, this is an excellent pick. It can do really well going forward. So from a fundamental investing, from investing perspective, also you can look at the stock. The stop loss and the targets are mentioned in the sheet. Even for investing, you could use stop loss as even low as 680. So if you want to be a little conservative, and then you can ride this trend, which probably the stock can head towards the upper end of the channel. I don't want to give you dreams, but for me, at least, this stock can at least head towards 1,500 levels in the coming years, or in the coming months as well. So that's the first stock. Let me know if you're investing in the comment section. Right now, before we move into the second stock, what I want to also tell you is I've recently opened a Discord channel. Now, a Discord channel is similar to a Slack channel, if you're aware of Slack channel, where we can have a lot of communication, amongst ourselves, and it can help us learn and share our stock ideas, share our strategy related questions, and you can share a lot of things on Discord. So if you have not joined me on Discord channel yet, it's similar to Slack, as I said, similar to how companies have channels where you can communicate ideas amongst your community. So I've opened a similar Slack channel. The link is in the description. Go ahead and check it out, and don't forget to join me. Also, if you've not joined me on Twitter yet, I'm very active on Twitter, and I have a lot of things that I update on Twitter. Like I have recently posted some stock ideas, which I don't usually share in the newsletter videos. So if you also haven't subscribed to, haven't followed me on Twitter, go ahead. My ID is DMDSPLY Investor. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter as well for more stock updates that I regularly give. Okay, so let's now look into this second stock video for today, which is Orient Electric. So Orient Electric again is an excellent company. So most of you would be invested in it, I'm sure, because it's been trending strongly since many months. And this company also has a very good ROC of 35.5%. It has ROE of 29.4%. So if you observe, the companies that I'm selecting and sharing with you for investment ideas are excellent stock picks, and they're companies usually which do very well, have been doing very well historically as well. Also, the stock is trading at 52 PE, which is still kind of decently valued. I still see some potential for this company to head higher from here. It is obviously in the consumer electrical space, and it has a wide range of portfolio products that this company sells. Okay, again, excellent sales growth, no debt. So these are some things that I look at before I invest in a stock. So let's look at the quarterly numbers. It's been on a rise. So last March and December we had a good rise. So obviously this is somewhat more seasonal, because sometimes during seasons, during Diwali season and all, you have a lot of appliances which are sold. But overall, this company has increased the sales from 212 crores to right now 2,000 crores, right, in just 4-5 years. So also the margins have been slightly improving from 8% to 9% to 11%. So that's also a good indicator for me. And the interest also is kind of stable. There's not much, no fluctuations or no high debt. That's also something which I look at. And profits have gone up, from 20 to 100 to 160 crores. So that's a very good increase in profits this year. Even though sales didn't increase, the profits have increased. If you also notice, that's primarily because of the OPM, operating margins, that the company was able to improve, right? So taking a quick look at the shareholding pattern, in case few of you are interested, this company is predominantly held by DIs. So most of the mutual funds in India are kind of invested in stock, and promoters hold a 38% share in this. So that's the fundamental aspect, or the fundamental analysis. A very quick, not a very detailed, but a short analysis that can help you understand the company aspects. Okay, now looking at the technical analysis, I'm just going to open the chart. Orient Electric has been in a very strong uptrend, as I already mentioned, and a lot of you would already be invested. So, but this stock has been in a clean uptrend, right? So since 2018, it had a breakout in 2019 October. It went up, retested during the COVID crash, went sideways, and again the stock has been uptrend, right? Again, it had a breakout here, it retest, and again it has a breakout. It's breaking out right now, and I think it's a good time to invest in stock. The stop loss again is mentioned in the newsletter. Even from investment perspective, this company is an excellent company. So you might want to go ahead and buy the stock. Also, if you're considering, if you're looking at some good companies, this is a company that you might want to look at. So That's the second stock from my newsletter that I covered in this week. Don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter because this video comes out a little late, so you might want to go ahead and subscribe right now. But the third thing I wanted to cover, before I cover the third stock, I also wanted to tell you that my YouTube channel, I have a channel where we have around 1600 subscribers. It is growing pretty fast. So in case you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel, because every night at 11 o'clock, I go live on the, whenever markets are trading, for example, Monday to Friday, every night I go live at 11 p.m. and I share my market outlook. For example, if you see today, just 42 minutes back, I did a session where a lot of people joined, around 40 people joined regularly, and I do it every other day. So, and also I share some stock picks, and also I did share some Murat's picks, and I also cover cryptos as well. So I've started covering crypto. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe right now so that you don't miss, and also click on that notification icon so that you don't miss any updates from me. So now let's look at the third stock. Third stock is a shipping company. So again, it's a pretty good company, GRSE. Most of you would know, Garden Reach Shipbuilders Limited. And this is one of the stocks from the shipping space which is doing well of late. And that's the reason why I'm covering this stock. Again, it has a pretty decent ROC around 21.2%, ROA 14.9%, no debt. That's something to note. The sales growth is not pretty great because you don't really see ships selling every day, right? So they get a few orders a year and they try to kind of grow those, build and sell those. Also, the stock is trading at a 15 PE, pretty low in my aspect, according to me. And yeah, let's look at the fundamentals of the company. Okay, so again, it's a decent growth in the last couple of quarters, but let's look at the yearly growth. That's more important than than the quarterly growth. So since 2018, the company has been doing kind of stable around 1350 crores of sales, not much increase. But what's really intrigued me when I look at the stock is the increase in margins. It has gone from 3% to 7%, and that's a pretty decent jump according to me. And that's the reason why also they posted some decent profits this year. And the interest rate, the interest, they don't have really much of debt. It's pretty low when compared to many other debt-laden companies or debt-loaded companies. This company doesn't have any debt. So the profit has been growing pretty decent, 120 to 207 crores, in spite of the sales. Sales has not been going much, but the profits have been going up. So for me, this pick is more from a technical perspective, not from a fundamental perspective. Maybe because I don't see the ship industry growing very fast, because it's very expensive. Not many companies, many countries, or many industries would be wanting them. So it's a very slow growth industry, but you might want to at least have a few stocks, because the momentum is really good on a technical perspective. So you might see some decent returns. Also, it's predominantly held by the government of India. The President of India holds around 74%, and DIs also have offloaded stake recently. But again, as I always say, for me that doesn't really matter. For me, what matters is momentum in stocks, and moment I see momentum, and if they're pretty decent companies, then I kind of recommend those such stocks. So that's the fundamental aspect. So if you do have any conflicting opinions, or if you have different opinions, do let me know. I'm always available for a healthy discussion, or you can also join on Discord for some discussions around this company. So let's look at the chart. The chart is an excellent setup. So I love such setups because this stock, since 2019, it had a very strong move up, and then since it has been going sideways. And back in October, in the first week or second week of October, it had a very strong breakout, and the stock, has been moving pretty strong, and it's also broken out from the previous all-time highs. So overall, this stock looks excellent from my perspective, and this can head higher. Now, stop loss can be as close as 210. You can also refer to the newsletter for the stop loss and targets. But our volumes have been picking up, and this stock is the third stock from this week's newsletter. Now, before we jump into the fourth stock, what I want to show you is a very interesting thing that I do, which you will not find many doing, or in fact, probably I'm the only one who's doing this, for the trading and investing community, for people to learn. So I trade a 1 lakh portfolio with real money, and I show people two important aspects: how to find stocks which can do really well, and how to manage a risk on a day-to-day basis, and how to manage your portfolio risk as well. And I discuss a lot of concepts in this portfolio, and I also discuss this in the daily 11 p.m. session. So there are many people who have learned how to trade. To be honest, really, people have learned and traded from me in the last 3-4 months. I started this back in July. We are in November now. And in this 3-4 months, people have learned how to really trade and cash stocks with me. I don't really get into futures and options, but you don't have to necessarily trade futures and options to make big money. You can also trade stocks and make quick money, and also decent money, at least 20-25% return every year on a standard, averaged basis. So let's look at that portfolio, and I'll show you how we are progressing there. So this is at 1 lakh portfolio, and we are up 22% in just 3.5 months. So we started in July 13th, and we're almost 4 months now, and we're doing pretty decent. We did go up to almost to 28% we were up, and then from there we came down because of the recent dip in markets, and now we're back up. So I'm just going to show you this equity curve here, which shows you how we've been progressing. We went from 1 lakh, all the way up to 1.28 lakhs, and we dipped to 1.18, 1.16, and we're back again up. So you will learn, how to handle market corrections along with me, and how to come back again after markets have, made your portfolio correct a little bit. So that's what I teach every day, no fees whatsoever. And also I discuss a lot of things on Discord as well. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel to know when I discuss these on my YouTube channel as well. Okay. And also there's a sheet which I track all the stocks till now I have closed. So you might want to go and check the sheet as well. You might find some good insights on how to do positional trading with me, or even swing trade. Some of the concepts can be used. Okay. So let's look at the fourth stock for today. The fourth stock today that we're going to look at is TV Today Network. Again, it's not a very great company, but technically it is also not, fundamentally also it's not a very bad company as well. It's a pretty decent company which is into the broadcasting business, and we all know TV Today. We've watched the channels and we've watched many other things. So ROC has been 20%, ROA is 14%, and the stock is trading at just 11p. So that's what that's what made me think that the stock probably has the potential to go ahead. Sales growth is 12%. It doesn't have much debt. So these are some things that I look at. And now let's look at the charts. The quarterly results. So we have been around the 240 marks few quarters back, but again we are heading there again after a dip. And I think also this company has increased its sales, from 285 now to 800 crores. So from a sales perspective, it's pretty decent. Also, it has been able to manage its operating margins also pretty fair, around 25 mark, 25, 27, 28% mark. And otherwise there's nothing really to note here. Again, this topic is more from a technical perspective, because I see some good potential for the stock to head higher from here. Now there can always be some news which follows later, so we never know what that is. But the company has good reserves, it has decent borrowings, not much, and the company is held predominantly by shareholders, and we also have DIs invested in this stock. Okay, so that's my fundamental aspect. If you do have opinions, do let me know. And let's look at the technicals. So if you just open TradingView, you'll find the technicals, and I'm going to go to the monthly charts to just help you understand what the stock has been doing. So back since 2004, the stock could not cross that level, and then finally in 2014 we kind of had a 10-year breakout, where we kind of had a breakout, consolidated, and then headed higher, and then we had a correction along with the mid cap and small cap back in 2017 and 18, and we kind of retested that level in code crash, and now we are about to break out from a nice inverted head and shoulders pattern. Now that's a very favorite pattern for me, and I have written this in my blog as well. So go and check out this pattern in my blog. I've given some nice descriptions on how you should be trading such patterns. Again, this can be considered as a good stock for a few months or a few years as well, depends on your risk appetite and how you can hold. But stop loss can be as close as even around 290 levels. So it's again, refer to the newsletter for the exact stop loss and for the targets as well. So these are the 4 stocks that I wanted to cover today, and I hope you enjoyed these 4 stocks and my analysis as well. So always remember, trying to club technical analysis with fundamental analysis can help you find some really good stocks, and if you can invest in them, they're probably going to do well because of the fundamental backing and the earnings that these good companies can bring along with them. And also I do this every week, so yeah, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to hit that like button before you drop off. Otherwise, I'm going to leave you here. Take care, stay safe until I see you in another video. Thank you. Bye-bye.